Hello students, welcome to my channel SDK Pathshala. Today we are going to learn about the pressure of liquid and air. So liquid and air both are fluid because they can flow. Now they exert pressure. Why they exert pressure? Because they do have some mass, and we know that if a body have some mass, then it must have some weight, and so weight is a kind of force. And we know also that pressure, what do you mean by pressure? Pressure is the force acting per unit area normally means perpendicularly, is known as the pressure. Okay, so here in this case the liquid or the air or any other fluid will exert pressure inside the liquid or pressure inside the fluid. Why? Because of their mass. As they are having mass, so they are having weight. So weight is a kind of force, and force per unit area acting normally is known as the pressure. Okay, now what is thrust? Thrust is the total force or the weight applied is on a particular area is known as the thrust. Okay, so we can say pressure is equals to thrust by area, because thrust is a kind of force. So we can write down pressure P is equals to thrust by area. Okay, so thrust is the force. So actually the force acting per unit area is known as the pressure. Now in a particular liquid or inside a particular liquid, it is generally seen that when we go deep inside the liquid, then its pressure increases. For example, when you go deep inside the sea, then you need a special type of suit, and by which you can go a certain depth of the sea. But if you want to go more deeper or deeper inside the sea, then you need a particular container where we can control the pressure. Like in case of submarine can also go with a or go deep inside the sea at a certain level. Up to or after that it can't go, because due to the huge pressure of the liquid. Okay, so to know about the pressure exerted in the particular liquid or inside a particular liquid, or on which factor the pressure depends, we need to calculate it. So how to calculate it? Let us consider a vessel. Okay, let us consider a beaker. So this is a beaker. Okay, so this is a beaker. So inside the beaker there is some liquid up to this side. Let us consider. Okay, so liquid is here. Now let us consider, we need to find out pressure inside the liquid at a depth of h. So this or this point is h. Okay, or this point is at a depth of h. Okay, now we will consider there is a liquid cylinder. Okay, so we can consider it. There is a liquid cylinder surrounding the point, and which is at the depth of the cylinder. The point is at the bottom of the cylinder. Okay, so the height is h and the area is a. A is the area of cross section of this cylinder. Next, the density of the liquid is rho. Rho is the density. So rho is the density and A is the area. Okay, and H is the depth. Okay, now to calculate the thrust or the force, we need to calculate the volume. Now what is the volume? So volume of the cylinder, what is the volume of the cylinder? Area of cross section A into H, obviously. Okay, now What is density? Density is mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume is the density. So density, if we say rho is equals to mass per unit volume. So this is the volume of the cylinder. V is equals to H. Okay, so if the density is rho, so mass equals to rho into V. So if you want to find out the mass of the liquid, because we need to find out the mass of the liquid to get to know about the force, because force is the weight, or weight is mass into acceleration due to gravity. So we can write down mass M is equals to volume into rho. So volume is AH into rho. Okay, so what is the weight? Weight will be mass into G, M into G. So that is AH rho G. Okay, so this is the weight of the liquid column. Okay, and this is the force which acting on the particular surface around the point. Clear? So thrust per unit area is known as force. So we get the thrust from this formula. Now we need to divide it by the area, because we need to consider thrust per unit area. So for A area, the total thrust is AH rho G. So for per unit area, what will be the thrust? Now, so find out the formula. We need to just put the value. So what is the thrust? The weight, that is AH rho G divided by area is A. So A cancel out. So H rho G. So pressure inside the depth, or at a depth of H, and inside a particular liquid whose density is rho, is H rho into G. So from this formula, what you get to know from this formula? From this formula, we will get to know about the characteristics of the liquid pressure. What are the characteristics of the liquid pressure? That is, on which factor pressure inside a fluid, or pressure inside a liquid, or pressure inside a gas depend. So pressure is equals to H into rho into G. So H is height. So obviously pressure is directly proportional to the height if density and G remains constant. That is, inside a liquid, if there are two kind of liquids, suppose one is mercury and another is water. Okay, so mercury is more heavier than water, or mercury is 13.6 times heavier than water. So if we go inside the liquid, or we go inside the water 1 meter down inside the water, so the force you will feel will be less than that of the mercury. Or you can conversely say that in mercury you will face 13.6 times more pressure if we go deep inside the same height in a mercury column, or in mercury. Okay, so it depends on density there, and it also depends on height. How it depends on height? Suppose there is, so how it depends on height, you can say from this formula that if rho and G is constant, then if height is increases, pressure is also increases. Okay, like for that example, when you go deep inside the sea, then if you want to go further, then you need the special kind of arrangement. So like that, by a particular experiment you can also find out it. Take a bottle of water, okay, and fill the bottle. Then put 3 holes, make 3 holes. One hole A, another hole is B, another hole is C. So what you will see, that the water coming from A go there, and coming from B go there, and coming from C go there. Okay, so it will have a greater outward force. Why? Because the pressure inside the C point is more than that of the A point. So as height increases, so the pressure also increases. Okay, and for that example, as rho increases or the density increases, So the pressure increases if height remains same. For the example of mercury and water, I have told you previously. Okay, and G, if G increases, that is acceleration due to gravity increases, then also the pressure increases. Why? Because gravity, acceleration due to gravity actually increase. If acceleration due to gravity increases, then for same mass of object, weight increases. Weight means force increases. So if force increases, then automatically pressure increases. Okay, so this is the relation between the depth and the pressure, and the density and pressure. Okay, next, do you know what is the meaning of water seeks its own level or water find its own level? Water find its own level means water always, or a particular liquid or water, in case of water we can see that if water is placed into 3 different pot or 3 different vessel, like for example I am giving you the example, then I will tell you what is the seeks its own level meaning actually. Suppose there is a vessel like this, another vessel is like this, another, there is a vessel like this, and they are interlinked, they are just interlinked. Okay, now if you pour water, then the water will rise and water will fill this portion, and then water will rise, and after some time you will see the height of the water remains same. Okay, now if you put more amount of water, height will increase, but the level of the water remains same. So this is known as water seeks its own level or water find its own level. Its application is that water level try to remain same if there is the continuous or there is a continuous path. Like for example, in our village or in our area, water supply is coming from the tank. Okay, so we used to reserve the water in the tank, and from there the total water supply of the city or of the village occurs. Okay, so there is a tank. So why the tank is at a particular height? Why? What is there? Why the tank is at a particular height? So that water can seek its own level, and from that reserved water, the flow of water or the water goes into every home with a particular pressure. Okay, without it can't flow that much, or it can't give that sufficient amount of pressure. For example, or in this case, as the water is at a height of h, suppose the height is h. Now in our house, suppose this is our house, so in our house there is a tap, and the tap is connected with the tank. So whenever water comes and goes out and goes through the pipe, then the water try to come up. Why? Because its original height is here, so it try to go up, and that's why we can, or the water can forcefully come out. Okay, otherwise water will not forcefully come out through the pipe. Okay, next there is a siphon. Do you know what is siphon? Siphon is a bent rod or bent pipe which can transfer liquid from one vessel to another vessel, one vessel to another vessel. Like suppose there is a vessel and there is another vessel down here. Now we want to transfer water from this vessel to this vessel. So what we need to do? We can use siphon for easy transfer. If that vessel is very huge, then excuse me, then we can't transfer it quickly, or we can't transfer it easily. It will require a huge force. So to get the job done easily, we use siphon. So siphon is generally a bent rod or a tube which automatically transfer the liquid from one vessel to another vessel. So what is the basic principle? Suppose this is at height, or the height is h1, and here the height is h2. Okay, now consider the point x and consider point y. These 2 points we are considering. So air gives pressure over this surface, and due to this there is a upward pressure by the air. Okay, so air gives a pressure to the liquid surface, and that's why an upward pressure created. So suppose here these two levels are same. So here atmospheric pressure, let the atmospheric pressure at point x and y is capital P. Okay, now here due to this column of water, because water is passing through there and coming here downward. Okay, so due to this column H1, what is the total pressure? So the total pressure P minus, or you can say P atmospheric A minus Px. Okay, and here the pressure is Pa minus Py. What is Py? Py is the water column, pressure of the water column, or which is acting downward. So you can write Pa minus, what is Px? H rho g. Suppose the density of the liquid is rho, so H1 rho g, and here it is Pa minus H2 rho g. So this is the pressure at point X, and this is the pressure on the point Y, and they are on same height, or they are on a same level. Okay, so that's why now let us calculate which pressure is more. Pa and Pa is same, rho and rho same, G and G same. So H2 greater than H1. As H2 is greater than H1, so this is, suppose P, this is the pressure at Py and this is the pressure at Px. So as H2 is greater than H1, so this quantity is greater than this quantity. So H1 or H2 rho g is greater than H1 rho g. Okay, so Pa minus H1 rho g greater than Pa minus H2 rho g. Okay, because this one is less, so when you subtract a less quantity, suppose Pa is 10 and H1 rho g is suppose 4, and this case Pa is 10 and H2 rho g is 6. Okay, so which quantity will be more? 6, and this is 4. So the pressure at the point X will be more and at point Y is less. And as we know, any fluid will flow from the higher pressure region to the lower pressure region. So we can see that liquid will flow from X point to Y point, and when it go there at Y point, due to the gravity, it comes down. Okay, so this is the working of siphon. Okay, next we need to know about barometer. Do you know what is a barometer? Barometer is a particular device which is used to measure the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so barometer is an instrument by which we can measure the atmospheric pressure, and from the barometer reading we can tell the, or we can forecast the weather. Okay, like if there is a certain decrease in the, or certain fall in the barometer, then a low pressure zone is created, then there may be a storm, or there may be rain. Okay, and if it is gradually increasing, it means there is a warm sunny day. Okay, and by using the barometer you can also measure the altitude of a particular height, because we know as we go above the earth's surface to a particular height, then there is a change in air pressure, and if we can calculate the change in air pressure, then we can calculate the height or the altitude of that place also. Okay, so this is the usefulness of 14 barometer or a barometer. Okay, next comes Archimedes principle. Archimedes principle is a kind of principle which allow us to find out the relative density, or a particular, or whether a body is actually made up of that, that is whether the body is pure, whether a body is pure or not, because it helps us to find out the density of the substance, or of unknown substance, of a particular unknown substance. So what is Archimedes principle? So the principle says that, or Archimedes says that, if a body is partially or fully immersed into a fluid at rest, the fluid must be at rest. So when a body is partially or fully immersed into a fluid at rest, then there is an apparent weight loss of the body, and that apparent weight loss is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. What is the meaning? The meaning is that, suppose there is a cube, metal cube. Suppose there is a metal cube. Now if the metal cube has an weight of 3 kg weight in air, now when we dip this partially into a liquid with a particular density, and if at that time with the spring balance, if we measure, or with the spring balance, if we measure the weight, then we will see it become, suppose 2.5 kg weight. Not exactly 2.5 kg weight, I don't know what, because it depends on the density and how much portion you dip. So let us consider it is 2.5 kg. So it will always less than, it will show always less weight. What does it mean? It apparent weight decreases. And how much apparent weight decreases? The apparent weight decreases is equal to the weight of the fluid it displaces. Fluid it displaces means, suppose there is a bucket full of water. Okay, suppose there is a bucket full of water. Okay, now if you immerse your hand here, then what will happen? Some amount of water will flow from here, because your hand is now at the place of water, so it will displace the water. Okay, so Archimedes principle states that when a body is partially or fully immersed into a liquid, or immersed into a fluid at rest, then there is a apparent weight loss of the body, and the apparent weight loss is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Okay, now what is buoyancy? Do you know what is buoyancy? Buoyancy is the upward force acting on a particular body. I am giving you one simple example. A simple example. Suppose there is a tumbler, and on that tumbler some water is there. Now if you have a plastic ball, red colored plastic ball, or which is full of air. Now if you put the ball over here, the ball will float. Now if we increase pressure and try to immerse it into the liquid, then what will happen? You feel that you will get also a upward pressure, you will feel a upward force rather, which acting on the opposite direction of your force. So this is known as the buoyancy. Okay, so the upward force acting on a particular body, when the body is partially or fully dipped into the water, then it is known as the buoyancy. Okay, upward force acting on a particular body by the fluid when it partially or fully immersed into a liquid at rest. Now there is a particular point that inside a particular liquid, at every point or at a particular point, if we consider a particular surface, then on that surface at every point pressure is similar if the height remains constant. So in case of buoyancy, or with the help of buoyancy, we can find out the laws of flotation, that whether a body will immerse into a liquid or whether a body will float or it will float by immerging some part, we can find it out. Okay, so let us consider there is a body which is inside the water. Okay, now if the weight of the body is W and W prime is the buoyant force, buoyant force or buoyancy, buoyant force, and this is the weight. So in the first case, when suppose W prime is greater than W, if W prime is greater than W, then the body will float. If W prime is greater than W, then the body will float. Okay, because weight acting is in this direction W and buoyancy acting on the upward direction. So in that case body will float. Body float. Okay, if W prime is equals to W, that is buoyant force and weight is equal, then the body will float by immersing some part, like the body is here and it will immerse, some part is immersed. Okay, or the full part is immersed but the body is not at the bottom, doesn't sink. Okay, so this is in case of W prime is equals to W, and when W prime is less than W, then the body will sink and sink to the bottom. Okay, because W is much more than the buoyancy. Okay, so this is the law of flotation. Now what do you mean by, do you know what is density? What do you mean by density? Do you know what is density? Density. Okay, so before going into density, let us talk more about buoyancy, that on what factor buoyancy depends. Factors on which buoyancy depends. Factors. Factors means the factors on which buoyancy depends. So buoyancy depends on various factors. The first factor is the density of the fluid. Density of the fluid. Because density of the fluid, that is direct. Now how buoyancy depends on the density? It is directly proportional. So if density increases, then buoyancy increases. If density increases, then buoyancy increases. Now the question comes, why? Why with the increase of density buoyancy increases? Because when the density of the fluid increases, then the buoyancy also increases. Because suppose a body is here, now the body will displace this much of fluid. Okay, so the mass of the fluid be m. So what is the weight of the fluid? M into rho, mass into density. Mass into density. You will get, or you can say mass. Suppose the body or the volume. Let us consider not mass. At first, volume. What is the volume? Volume of the body is suppose V. Okay. Now, volume into rho, you will get mass. Volume into rho, you will get mass. Now, if rho increases, that is density increases, then volume remains same, but mass will increases. And as mass increases, then weight increases. So the upward thrust will also increases. Why? Because that upward thrust or the buoyancy is equal to the buoyant force is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. So weight of the fluid increases as rho increases. Okay, understood? Next, the immersed part of the body or the volume. So if the immersed part of the body increases, so volume or the immersed part, why immersed part of the body? Because if the immersed part of the body increases, then V increases. If V increases, then if rho remain constant, with increase of V, mass will also increases. And if mass increases, then then the weight increases, and weight means here the upward force. Okay, here weight is the upward force, because buoyancy is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Okay, so weight of the fluid increases and as well as the buoyancy increases. Okay, so buoyancy is the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Okay, next, and that much of fluid or that much of weight, it decreases. Okay, next thing is that relative density. What is relative density? Relative density, RD. Now what is relative density? Relative density is a ratio of the density of a particular body to the density of water at 4 degree. So relative density is the density of the body by density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Why 4 degrees Celsius? Because at 4 degrees Celsius water is having the maximum density. Okay, so density of the body by the density of the water, or you can say weight of the body by weight of same volume of water at 4 degrees C. Okay, so this is the relative density. So let us calculate how to find out the relative density. Suppose there is a body of weight W1. Okay, suppose there is a body of weight W1. Now the body is immersed into a fluid, into water. So it's, suppose, now how to calculate the relative density of a particular body. The relative density of a particular body, to calculate, suppose a body is having weight W1 in air. Now the body is immersed into water and its weight, relative weight, becomes W2. Okay, so what is the weight loss? W2 minus W1, and this weight loss is equal to the weight of this weight loss. This is W1 and this is W2. So this weight loss is equal to the weight of what? Weight of the water displaced by it. Okay, so this is the formula of relative density, weight of the body by weight of the same volume of the body. So weight of the body is W1, and this is the W1 minus W2 is the weight of the water displaced by it. Okay, so the relative density of the body will be W1 by W1 minus W2. This is the formula of relative density. Suppose relative density of mercury is 13.6. What does it mean? It means that mercury is 30, or equal volume of mercury is 13.6 times more heavier than the equal volume of water. Okay, so this is the meaning of the relative density. Okay, so for this class, this much for this class, and on the next class we will do, or we will go to the next part of this chapter. Okay, now if you like my video, then please press the like button, and if you not subscribe yet, then do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you can get notification when I upload the next video. Okay, thank you.